wish you were here to see this.
Hello, it's me, Hana. Today I want to tell you about something special I found. Deep in the forest, next to a quiet stream, I discovered a big abandoned treehouse. It's built around an old, strong tree with wide branches that stretch over the water. The wood is aged and a little worn, but it still feels sturdy. When I first saw it, it felt like something from a dream, like a place waiting patiently for someone to return. This morning, the rain started early. Not a gentle rain, but a heavy one, the kind that turns the forest into a moving curtain of silver lines, the kind that makes the stream louder and fuller, the kind that makes the leaves shine dark green. I stood under the treehouse roof listening to the sound. Rain on wood, rain on leaves, rain on water. Each surface has its own voice. There's a small apple garden near the treehouse. The apples are red and round and almost glowing against the gray sky. Even in heavy rain, they look cheerful. So I put on my yellow raincoat. I tied the hood tightly under my chin. I stepped down carefully from the wooden stairs. The ground was soft and wet. Mud clung to my boots. The air smelled fresh and earthy. Rain has a way of waking up every scent in the forest. When I reached the apple trees, I paused for a moment. Raindrops were sliding over the apples like glass beads. They looked almost polished. I reached up and touched one. It was cold and smooth. I twisted it gently from the branch. It came free with a soft snap. That sound always feels satisfying, like a small reward. I filled my basket slowly. There was no need to rush. The rain wasn't going anywhere, and neither was I. My raincoat was covered in droplets. My sleeves were damp at the edges, but I didn't mind. Sometimes being in the rain feels honest. It makes you feel part of everything. The stream beside the garden was louder than usual. Water rushed over stones in silver waves. It almost sounded like laughter. When my basket was full, I carried it back toward the treehouse. Climbing the wooden steps felt different in the rain. Each step was careful and steady. The wood creaked softly under my weight, but it felt strong. Inside the treehouse, it was surprisingly cozy. The walls are simple wood planks. There's a small window facing the stream, and a little stove in one corner. I took off my raincoat and hung it near the door. Water dripped softly onto the floorboards. The air inside smelled like wood and rain. I placed the apples on the table. They looked even brighter indoors, like little red lanterns. I decided to cook something warm. Rainy days always make me crave warmth. I sliced the apples carefully. The knife moved smoothly through crisp flesh. The scent was sweet and fresh. I cooked them slowly in a pan. As they softened, their aroma filled the treehouse. It mixed with the smell of rain drifting in from the balcony. The sound of sizzling blended with the sound of water outside. I prepared a simple meal, nothing fancy, just something comforting. When everything was ready, I carried my bowl to the small balcony. The balcony faces the stream. From there, I can see the forest canopy swaying in the wind. I sat down on a wooden chair. The roof above protected me from the rain, but I could still feel the cool air brushing my face. The rain was steady and heavy. It blurred the trees in the distance. It made the world feel smaller, like the forest and I were alone together. I took a bite of the warm apples. They were sweet and soft. The warmth spread through my chest. I watched the stream below. The water moved quickly, carrying leaves and tiny branches. It reminded me that everything flows, even storms. There is something beautiful about being high above the ground. In a treehouse, you feel suspended between earth and sky, not quite part of either, just quietly observing. I thought about who might have built this place, what kind of dreams they had, what kind of days they spent here. Did they also sit on this balcony during heavy rain? Did they feel the same calm? The rain continued without apology, but instead of feeling gloomy, I felt grateful. Grateful for shelter, grateful for warm food, grateful for the simple act of harvesting apples. Sometimes happiness is not loud. It doesn't announce itself. It just sits quietly beside you, like the sound of rain. As I finished eating, I leaned back in the chair. I let my feet rest on the wooden railing. I listened. I breathed. The forest looked alive in the storm. Leaves shaking, branches bending, water dancing everywhere. And yet, inside this treehouse, everything felt still, safe, gentle. Maybe that's why I love places like this. They remind me that even in heavy rain there can be comfort. Even in abandoned spaces there can be warmth. Even in solitude there can be fullness. I think I'll stay here for a while. Maybe repair a few boards. Maybe plant more apple trees. Maybe make this place breathe again. For now, I'll just sit here, watch the rain, listen to the stream, feel the quiet wrap around me. Thank you for being here with me today. I hope wherever you are, you find a small balcony of peace, even if the rain outside is heavy.